everybody. Welcome to my little community garden plot. I wanted to show you what I did to clean it up. So it was looking a little rough. I didn't capture it in film, but I'll put up some pictures to show you what it looked like. And it wasn't too bad. It was just a lot of chickweed and a lot of tall grass around the fence. So I came in with one of those fork looking type of shovels. I'll get the proper name later and post it. And I just pulled up the chickweed, just kind of lifted it up. I put my foot on it and just kind of lifted it up and just tossed it around to compost in place. Almost like a chop and drop method, where you just chop the weeds and you let it decompose right on the spot. And then I just chopped around the grass as well and pulled out the tall weeds from the fence and everything. And I could have put a layer of cardboard down, but I am going to plant right away, so I decided to just put some compost over it, and then I will plant some corn, some beans to grow on the corn, and then some squash, which will cover the ground and will act like a mulch to kind of keep the weeds at bay and retain the water in the soil. And I'll do the same on this little section here. I just found some spare wood around, and I just did a little border. I put some mulch down for now, but eventually I'll come back. I'll put some sweet potato vines, and they'll cover the ground, kind of like the squash will here. And they'll keep they retain moisture, and they'll keep the weeds at bay too. Over here though, I did a mixture of some flowers for the pollinators, but then I did some tomatoes, some peppers, and a few berry bushes like blueberries, raspberries, and grape. And then back there's a little strawberry tower, kind of small, and some herb boxes. So I did put some flowers here in between the walkways where I'm going to plant the corn, beans, and squash. And the flowers will just keep the pest pressure down. The aromatic herbs, the flowers will bring in good pollinators, will help keep the pest pressure down on the vegetable garden. And so we can take a closer look. Here you'll see a mixture of the flowers. We'll have some coleus, we have some marigolds, and there's some lavender. It's looking a little sad because I just moved it today to make room for another berry bush I'm going to put in the back there. It's looking a little sad, but it'll spruce up with some more water and sun. We've got these tomato towers. I know they're not the best, but my plan is just to let the tomatoes grow up and then out, and trim them so they're not too messy or too bushy, and it'll keep the tomatoes off the ground. It'll keep them from rotting. It'll keep the pest pressure down too. And it's also great when you don't have too much space, because they're not just sprawling all over your walkway. They're kind of neat and tidy up away from where you need to walk. I did put the marigolds right next to the tomatoes to help with the pest. And I did plant some gladiolus bulbs all around the fence, so they'll come up pretty tall and just be like a nice cover for the fence when they're ready to come up in July through August, or July through September, I believe. In the meantime though, the annuals are really nice. They add a nice pop of color, and they help fill up space until your other plants start growing. That's what we did the first day. Here we can see that the corn is starting to grow. The weeds are also starting to grow. The flowers are looking nice. It's been raining quite a bit this past week. The herbs, you can see there's some weeds, but the oregano is still holding on. And I'm just there pulling out the weeds. The strawberry tower is still holding strong. My sage is doing well, but my basil didn't come out. Here are the grapes. Just weeds right now, and the grape stick is still still looking fine. Still there. Tomatoes are still there and looking healthy. The gladiolas are shooting up. Those are the little spiky leaves you're seeing there. There is another berry bush. I believe that's the blueberry bush with the leaves. And another tomato. Flowers are still looking pretty. There's been a lot of rain. Just pulling out some weeds to make sure they don't crowd out the tomato seedlings. The marigolds are still looking good. The hydrangea's not looking that good. And here are the little corn seedlings popping out. I'm going to wait for them to get about 4 inches tall before I plant the beans and the squash. They're looking good. Weeds not too bad in this bed. Here's the other bed. I didn't plant as much corn, but there's still some. They're growing just fine. Weeds are not too bad in this one either. The flowers are holding up.